And welcome back. Bruce Porter joins us now for this week's Dollars and Cents segment. Always good to see you. Thanks for coming back.
Good to be here.
Because we have to kind of finish. We're going to do the question again. And
Yep.
All right, here it is.
Sounds good.
I want to retire early. Not sure if I can. What should I be thinking about, and how can I determine if I can? We started on this last week. We're going to kind of continue.
That's right. There's 6 signs that we've kind of identified as signs that you can retire early. So we talked about last week the emotional stress, the emotional thought you've got to have to make that decision to voluntarily be unemployed.
Right, you have to be ready for it.
There's a lot that goes into that, so you need to have a plan is kind of what we established. Then we talked about can you live on your retirement budget? So establish what your budget is and try to live on that for a few months and see if you are able to.
Practice.
If you dip
Take a practice run, right.
That's exactly right. Because if you dip into your savings or credit cards, you're not quite ready, right? And then we talked about health care. Having affordable health care coverage that can carry you all the way till you're eligible for Medicare.
Right,
That's
and
at age 65.
Right, okay.
So you got to budget that because that's a huge expense. Now, this week, we're going to talk about a common roadblock to retirement is family or children. So let's say you want to retire early, but your kids are either just finishing up or maybe going for a master's degree and they're still not independent. Maybe they're still living at home. Maybe they're still a dependent of yours. You're having to feed them a little money to keep them going. Maybe they don't have that well-established career. They're still doing either part-time or temporary employment. So you really got to think through that, because if you have to help that family member, that's going to be a roadblock to your fun, retirement, fishing, golfing, traveling. It's going to curtail
it's an extra
that.
Expense.
Absolutely, because we are on a fixed income, and when we take that away from our play money, that's going to be a big problem.
There's no putting in a few more hours of overtime to get a couple of extra bucks.
No, there's not. So the next one, number 5, is debt. If you still have debt and you want to retire early, I can just tell you right up front, it's probably not a good idea. Debt is nothing you want to carry into retirement. If you don't have your debt paid off or have a very hard plan on exactly when you're going to be out of that sooner than later, you're probably not ready to retire.
Do most people retire debt-free?
That's what everybody would like to do. Do people retire with debt? Absolutely.
Okay.
Because, everybody's situation is different.
Right.
Some people have their home paid for. That's ideal. Some people have all their expenses, and now they can retire with full income and no interest expense. But that doesn't always happen.
Yeah, and you also always have an X factor in there somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. Something's going to pop up. Car breaks down, you got to trade cars, so you spend more money than you thought you'd have to. All those things. Life continues even into retirement.
Absolutely.
And then last, the main thing about retirement is having sustainable income that you cannot outlive. It's the supplemental monthly income that goes right into your checking account, just like a paycheck, just like your Social Security, every month. And you don't have to worry about the ups and downs in the market. You don't have to worry about interest rates, because you've established a plan that generates this income and you don't have to worry about it. If you retire and you got a substantial amount or a large portion, let's just say money you're not willing to lose, all right? If you've got that invested in a variable environment, you have to understand that you've got to stomach those ups and downs. And if you take a downturn like 07, 8, and 9, it could be 10 years later and you're still recuperating from that downturn. Meanwhile, your account is less because you've been drawing income every year that you've been recovering. So it's a major, major problem.
Retiring is a full-time job is what it sounds like.
Well,
at least getting there.
You've heard getting old is not for sissies.
No.
Neither is retirement.
That's awesome, Bruce. Thank you.
Absolutely.